Hello, guys. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Daily Recaps and Teaching. Today is August 18th. So, uh, so another choppy day. Not really a good day. I mean, there were some good setups, but after the initial push, which I will explain, most of things were choppy up and down. we had we had few good trades right at open. The Apple bounce right at open was good. We tried to short one name. That short didn't work. Got a um, I think few of the people got bad entry on it. I took a quick loss. It was just a small size. We'll talk about that. But AMD levels really worked nicely. Nvidia levels really worked nicely. D-Dog was a nice daily setup. Talked about it. That was good. And there were some good discussions on trading floor. People. The good thing today was many people executed themselves, and we talked about some levels in the pre-market, and many people executed those themselves, so which was very encouraging. So let's see what we did today. So first of all, let's look at we didn't have really a big watch list today. There was nothing much on the watch list which was really crazy. So we had Bill on the watch list. We had Keys, Fitch, He. Bunch of those names were on the watch list. And today from the news front, there was not much. AMAT was on the watch list as well. See, the rule is simple every day. Anything which is gapping down, if it rejects the EMA cloud, we short it. Then we check the other parameters as well. And if it gets over the EMA clouds, we long it. If we are short, we cover the short and we try to find an entry for the long. Right, so AMAT today was not an A plus setup like like A plus setup when the daily or yearly chart is really bearish and it's breaking a support, then it's a daily A plus setup, right? So AMAT was not right A plus setup, so I didn't do anything with AMAT. Maybe I could have longed it, but it didn't give me anything clear to do anything, so I avoided it. So we had one loss in the morning on the bill. I was looking to see if it rejects. It was a big gap. I was looking to see if it rejects the EMA cloud. So and if it rejected, I was going to short it. But the very first candle got right over EMA cloud. I tried to short against the 100, but it kept pulling. I quickly covered. Just a quick, very small size, as I shared on my guidance. But seems like some people got a bad entry on this and got a little squeezed, which is not really good. You have to enter a small size first and just watch your entries, not take a blind trade. But good thing is few people took it long and they really banked on it. This chart is on the watch. We'll be watching this BIAL tomorrow. It can on Monday it might have a bigger run. So let's look at our levels, some winners we had today. So let's see. So let's look at AMD, see what our levels were about. Okay, so SPY, or we can just go to SPY. Let's look at SPY. SPY. Alright, okay, so this is SPY. So SPY sport levels were 433, right? 433, 429. So where did it bounce from? Right from the 433 support, 433. So the bounce trades are always low probability trades because they are under the trend, right? It did bounce. I'm glad many people took the risk, that level, traded the bounce. Maybe they got $2. This 434C moved a little bit. That was fine. But after that day, it pulled back. Again, the risk was the same. And then it tried to pull back, push up, pull back, push up. These kind of days not my favorite, right? So I It's always it's always a job thing for me. Anyways, the SPY levels worked nicely. What was the level on QQQ? 355 was our support. Never broke the support level. So there was never a clearish bearish plan today to go short because the level never broke. Look at this, 355. So there was, if the support is holding, right? What does, if this support is holding, then we don't have the complete bearish bias, and there's not really a plus setup here. I mean, you can scalp the bounces. I mean, if you took the bounce, scalped it whole day, yes, you made good, or you did good, but there was no clear short setup because it was holding the support, it was rejecting, holding. So no clear trade on. I mean, there were few trades in middle of the day, but I don't like this. Even though we were in a channel up, if you see, but this was, the candles were pretty wicky. There was no clear trend. It was not over the EMA Cloud 3450, so it was little hard for everybody. But anyways, the levels worked. So the resistance pivots, it cleared the 356 resistance pivot, it cleared the 357.50 resistance pivot. That's why it was chopping and it moved over. So levels worked there nicely. So let's look at Apple levels. So Apple, what were my levels? Apple 171.90, right? So that was my level, 171.90. Again, pre-market worked. And what did Apple do? What did Apple do after that? So this setup is setup long versus the pre-market support. And did it clear the pivot? 173, yes, it cleared the resistance pivot. There you see the resistance pivots I gave, and here is the resistance pivot that it cleared. Once it cleared the resistance pivot, it was all day trend over EMA Clouds. I did not trade Apple, but those who are in the community, those who know my teachings, this is the way you trade it. You have a risk level, low probability setup until it goes over EMA Clouds, and then it pushes higher, all day setup, right? So let's, okay, so Apple level worked as well. So let's look at Tesla. Did our Tesla levels work? 208.60, never went there. 209.60, never went there. 212.50. Well, we were close. I mean, what was the low? Low was 212.36, so it was close, and it's never an exact point. But the point is, the support level still acted. That was a level from daily, so it was still was okay. But the problem with this was, we took a trade on Tesla right at open. We took it based upon this pre-market lows, right? So this pre-market lows, when it was going there, I did in the morning and went to 217, got a like $2.5–3, took it off here, and then when it was doing this, I got out. I mean, and then finally it faded and we got out. But we got a little nice trade in the morning, and rest Tesla, burnt my options today all day. So gapping up nicely though after hours. So next weeks were better. So if you swung the next week calls, they should open higher. It's a nice gap up. Next week might be good. So let's see on what Microsoft did. So Microsoft, the levels were 312.17, 312.17. So yeah, level 312.17. No, not really clear. It was hard to trade because it was breaking under and there was no setup. Because it did not hold that level and then break the pre-market. So Microsoft level did not really work, but you could have played it over when it moved over EMA Clouds. Let's look if Nvidia. Yeah, Nvidia was guiding that 218 is the 418 is the level, and Nvidia was the 48 this candle, and we were talking about this area, and right about that area it moved. Yeah, it's 416.60, never always a single point, but nice move on Nvidia all day. But this is the trade that we did, AMD. So AMD, I was on the voice today, I was talking about the pre-market long. I will show you, and 102.50 was our level. It held an all day trend on Nvidia. Beautiful all day. Let's see what our Meta did. Meta, our levels were 279 right here. When it broke, there was no trade. I did not chart any lower levels on Meta today, but I stayed away from Meta, although I was short biased when it was first breaking here. So that was my call, that when it's breaking the support, it's a short bias, right? If under EMA Clouds, bearish bias if support breaks. But problem with some of these trades were they came down and came back up, right? So that was the problem. They stopped you out right away, and then you long, you have to risk this level. But the action was so wicky all day, there was not clean move. So this up down action was tough to trade. That's why some people had tough time today. So anyways, let's go back to see our trade recaps. So as you see, Bill was on the watch list. Actually, Bill was not on my watch list, but somebody mentioned, and I quickly looked. I should have looked more in detail, did more analysis, and I could have given a long there as well, but it was a bearish bias on Bill. Like I said, I was looking to add a short, but versus this 100 area, but when it started pulling, I was out here. So Bill, watch list, bearish bias. You know, I never gave an entry to long, but if somebody longed it over EMA Clouds, they did good. So I was waiting to hit the short, you know, a little short. See, little short, not a lot, because I know when I'm not confident about a setup, what I'm doing, right? Little short. I saw somebody today was he shorted a bigger size, and then he lost a lot, and that's the problem, right? When you just blindly follow someone, that's happened. So you have to decide your size and everything. So my little short there, but then I was also long Tesla right at open. 930 Tesla long versus 213 right here. So right here long Tesla went to 2750. So $3.50 move, right, on 1,000 shares. That's 3,500 for you. And if you did not take that trade, and if I lost in Bill, let's say I have a 500,000 shares and I lost $1, I lost $1,000. But on the Tesla long trade, I made decent profit. You know, even though it did not really work out all the way, and I stopped out here, but still was a profit is profit. But the problem is, if you took a loser, then watching somebody, then you look a loser, you're all dejected and you move on. But somebody else who took the same trade also took a long somewhere, and he is green because for him this is a small short. So that's why I always say wherever you are, look up what trade you want to do, make sure you have your sizes, you know, make sure you know your levels, and do that. So anyways, morning 2 trades, Tesla 213. This is just my journal, my ideas. You know, Tesla worked, Bill did not. Then I also said take some off here, right? So Nvidia in the morning, when it was rejecting the EMA Clouds right here, I said short all the pops versus this area, right? So Nvidia rejected EMA Cloud. So Nvidia, since I said the short, you know, it faded from 420 because this was the level, right? This was the level, the pre-market level. It went all the way 416. People were asking me the target, and I told them 418. So I gave the 418 target. If you, let's see. So let's see, where it go. Yeah, so Nvidia target. So I was saying, let's see what my target was. In the morning we can check. Okay. Maybe. So we were talking about this Nvidia short. The target I gave was 418. So as you see, Nvidia short idea that I gave right here. Okay, there we go. Nvidia rejected EMA Cloud short under 35 right at open, 5 minutes at to open, and Nvidia faded all the way to 418. That's where you cover. That's almost an $8 move on a Nvidia short. You cover and then you move on, and then Of course, I was talking about Tesla, which traded later. And then we were talking about AMD, right? So AMD, the 1023 was level was holding, and that was the long key for the long, right? So then what happened, AMD? Let's see. Relative strength. The price alert started hitting. Then all day the AMD was the best trade. It was the best trade. AMD, new HOD all the time. So this guy, this member in the community, we know he executed himself on AMD. So proud of him, right? So I can only guide what's going to do, what are the levels, but you have to execute, because what was the setup? Low probability pre-market bounce setup, then get our EMA clouds, add more, becomes a high probability setup, much better trend than any other name. And the same time Nvidia bounced from the short, and you could long it as well. So yeah, so Nvidia was good. Then my other idea was Netflix. Netflix keep the I mark 405C calls, not bad for option players. I gave the levels earlier. Netflix pre-market levels were given, and Netflix, this call went 100% as well today. So that was good. Then my other idea today that I even posted on Twitter, I will show you before and after on DDOG. Right, let's see. Okay. So DDOG, this was the daily setup. And we were talking on the voice, this breakout was the breakout, about to test the breakout, and DDOG kept going. I think many people did good in the DDOG in the room. So if I wanna see, let's see, okay. So if you see the DDOG, this was the before move, and this was the after move, before, after. Love the daily on DDOG, and when the tech bounce will be a good mover, and that's how the DDOG moved all day. Beautiful trade, still on the watch. So DDOG, very, people did good. Harpal did good. I was very happy. You see, got the small Lotto. Singh was talking about the DDOG. So that was really good. DDOG. So DDOG was another good trade. What else we did? Okay, so we covered AMD, we covered Tesla, we covered Netflix, we covered DDOG. Let's look at it something else. We covered our loser for the day. So there was, we didn't do much, after the morning, because I didn't like the up down action all day. I did give this level, the 217 on Tesla here. I was talking about it all day, and I know some people faded, because you look at this, right? Look here. What is happening? Look at this. This is seller, big seller on high volume, and it fades, right? So you use this level to short, and that's what many people did in the community, right? So that's simple concepts. And then I also talked about Tesla. What I was talking about, there were a lot of selling even at 15. Let's see. Tesla. Yeah, we did trade some Lottos, but overall I made a little money in the Tesla in the morning. Then I gave up in the chop on Tesla later in the day. So it was very frustrating today, definitely, for Tesla. Yeah, you see 217 test, 217 big resistance level, clearly mentioned, big resistance level, and that's what happened. Pull back 215, gave up the 215, and then I didn't short. I should have shorted it, right? But again, I'm not perfect as well, so it is what it is. But I'm happy if 1 second. So this was all about what we did on Tesla, guys. So as you guys see, there was not much going on today, but we had a couple of small wins which add up. DDOG, AMD, Netflix call scalps, those were good. And I did tell many people to avoid the Lotos if they don't understand. DDOG was good. Tesla all day guidance was there to manage short or long. We have pretty good guidance by Suri and everyone else. We were talking about these levels. Datadog was working, AMD was working, and then everything else was chopping mid of the day. Netflix calls went 100% there. AMD was going higher. Yeah, Tesla faded second time from 217 right here. I mean that was the Tesla story all day. Nvidia was the notable bounce from 218, was not my trade, but I did do that AMD, so that was better, right? Decent idea. Netflix was good. So hopefully next week is better, guys. The charts are setting up. We will keep an eye on all these names for next week. And I do want to tell you that mid of the day when SPY was ramping up, I did give this level on the VIX that when VIX fades all day from these break levels, SPY will push. Imagine, look at what happened. 18 broke, VIX back to 17, and SPY ramped up. Even though it was not a clean trade, but if you had next week's calls based upon the VIX breakdown of 18, you would have done good, right? But if you were trading intraday 0-day, they would have been chopped. But anyways, what I'm trying to teach, the concept is same concept of VIX. VIX goes to the highs, and if you see my levels from the morning on the VIX, they were pretty clean, and this is what I talked about. So let's look at it quickly. So 18, 18, 50 and 19, look at it, all the levels work perfectly, right? So if you see, those levels work perfectly. 18, 18, 50 rejected and SPY bounced, right? Even though it was not a clean trend today, guys, but still, the technicals were working, levels were working. So this is it, guys. This isn't it for today. Small loss, one loss for me personally. Gave up on the Tesla, but have had a bunch of good trades. Not really a great day where I'm happy that, because I know few people in the room lost today because of the choppy day, but that's fine. That's how the game works. You have to keep going. Some days will be bad, some days will be good, but what we can't allow is one day wiping off everything we do. We are a community of serious traders. We don't have people who I want everybody to know what they are doing. I don't want anybody to come here who don't know what they are doing, right? So that's how we grow. I'm seeing a lot of improvement from a lot of people who are following my YouTube recaps. I talk to people on Twitter, so I'm very proud of it. I got some nice good emails from you guys, so very happy about it. So hopefully I'll post another educational video this weekend. I'm working on one really good video on EMA Clouds for you. Promise it will be out soon. But anyways, that's it, guys. This is Friday evening for me. I'll put the video open and probably tomorrow. It'll be probably Saturday by the time you see this video. And enjoy your weekend. Happy Saturday, happy Sunday. Thank you for everything. See ya. Bye.